The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coonabunya Sale Yards August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coonabunya Sale Yards August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coonabunya Sale Yards August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated.
Official day of the 2026 Royal Queensland Show, celebrating 150 years. We're here in Ring 5 this morning. We're judging the Murray Greys. We're due to start at 9 o'clock, so I think we'll get away. I'd like to introduce our judge, Mr. David Greenup. David, with his wife Sonia and their family, operates the Rosevale Santa Gertruda stud in southeast Queensland. The herd is one of the most extensively performance-recorded herds in northern Australia. 400 to 500 bulls, principally pasture prepared, are sold annually. The 70th annual Rosevale stud sale will be held in 2026, the longest running on-property annual sale of any breed in Australia. A strong focus is placed on breeding extremely fertile, functional cattle that meet market specifications at an early age off pasture. David has judged cattle and young judges competitions at almost all royal and major shows, breed national sales and multiple breed junior shows throughout Australia. So I'd like to welcome here this morning to judge the Murray Greys. And our first classes are the junior heifer classes, class 222, heifer aged 8 months and under 12 months. 3 entries in this class, catalogue numbers 845, 847 and 848. I have withdrawals for catalogue numbers 846 and 849. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking for catalogues or weight sheets, they're available over at the bar on the other side of this ring. Ladies and gentlemen, result in class 222, heifer aged 8 months and under 12 months. First place to catalogue number 845, Rochelle Honeysuckle W259, exhibited by Paul and Lynn Richards. In second place, catalogue number 848, Sixpence Park Robbie, exhibited by Steve and Natty Martin. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on this first class of junior heifers.
Thank you, Candice, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Candice, for the kind introduction earlier. I must thank, before I say anything on this first class, thank first the Murray Grey breeders for giving me the opportunity and asking me to judge here today. Certainly is a great honour to judge at any royal show, and I enjoy it a lot, and hopefully I'll do a good job by the breed today. In this first class, an interesting class of heifers, and one at this point in time in their life, probably the hardest one to judge of the day. You're taking a crystal ball to these females, and there's so much more to happen in their lives. I've gone with a heifer that's the youngest in the class. I admire her for her length of body, her refinement through that front end. I think she's got enough width right throughout her body, and certainly not overdone at this point in time in her life, but I think potential to grow on to be a really, really functional, long-bodied, feminine, fertile female. In placing her over the heifer in second position, she is only a couple of months older and tremendous amount of performance in her, and she was my first place getter when she first came into the ring pretty easily. I just felt she wasn't quite as sound in those, both the back and front legs as the heifer in first position. That was the reason I had them placed in that way. The heifer in third, a little similar in type to the heifer in second, but not quite got the body length and volume, is a month older, and she got outdone by performance to the second place heifer here today in this class. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Ladies and gentlemen, our next class is class 223, heifer aged 12 months and under 16 months. Catalogue numbers 850 through to 855 to please parade. Ladies and gentlemen, resulting class 223, heifer aged 12 months and under 16 months. First place to catalogue number 855, Mayfair Joyce W8, exhibited by Burnett Pastoral Trust. In second place, catalogue number 853, Onward Titian W19, exhibited by Barrowville Central School. And in third place, catalogue number 852, Sheldy Movie Star, exhibited by Marilyn Hanson. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on this class of heifers.
Thanks, Candice. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a really interesting class of heifers, and I commend the breed for such a quality lineup. As they came in, I just looked at the neck extension on these females, the femininity and the bodies they had. I think they're a credit to the breed, and I must say it was a very hard job judging them. The heifer I've got on top of the class is right at the top of the ages, so she's got the advantage of being a little more mature than the others. So probably taking that into account a little, but love the body type in her, length of body, depth of body, width of frame, but she carries it in a skeletal package that travels really easily. She's sound in all the ways, and she's refined through that front end. So she's a big, powerful female with the femininity to go with it, I believe. You're placing her over the heifer in second position. Heifer that's a little younger, as I said earlier, but not quite got the power and performance of the heifer in first, but a heifer that's really well balanced, got good width of frame, and she is long-bodied. Just a real natural, easy-doing type of female that I believe is a sort of heifer that grows into a cow that lasts a long time and breeds annually. And placing her over the heifer in third position, this is a more extreme female that's going to give you a bit more performance. Not quite as feminine, I thought, as the two heifers that placed above her, and probably just a not quite as well put together through that hindquarter area, but a heifer with a tremendous amount of power, and I think still feminine enough. Great head courage. In placing her over the heifer in fourth position, this heifer in fourth is a bit similar to the heifer in second, but just not quite got the performance of the heifer that placed above her and the heifer that was in second. I really like her. I love the neck extension, the femininity of this female. A credit to the breeder, but not quite got the thickness I thought of a couple of the other females that placed above her. This heifer in fifth, another good female. Probably a little straighter in a joints, but geez, she's got a lot of length of body and width of frame, and she's feminine as well. The heifer in sixth position, I thought not quite as feminine as the other heifers. I love the power in her, the muscle in her. She's just a little shorter in her neck extension than the other heifers, and that was the reason I had her there. But six very good heifers, as I mentioned at the start of the class, and I congratulate the breeders. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final junior heifer class, class 224, heifer age 16 months and under 20 months. 4 entries in this class, catalogue numbers 856 through 859 to please parade. Ladies and gentlemen, the resulting class 224, heifer aged 16 months and under 20 months. First place, catalogue number 858, Onward Evelyn W1, exhibited by Bowerville Central School. In second place, catalogue number 857, Amelia Park Abigail, exhibited by Amelia Taylor Rose. And in third place, catalogue number 859, Rochelle Chloe V127, exhibited by Paul and Lynn Richards. And I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on this final class of junior heifers.
Thanks, Candice. Ladies and gentlemen, in this class we've got an age range of 2 to 3 months. It was an interesting one because as they came out, I just felt that they were all sound. Basically, I was going to look at dimensions really when I looked at them. So I got down to some finer points. The heifer I've got in the first position, I just love her. She's just a natural. She's not showing off to the best of her ability, but I love the width of frame, the depth of body, the length of body. She's sound in her makeup. She travels easy. She's got a quiet eye. She's very feminine, but she's got a tremendous amount of body, and I feel she's probably an easy winner in this class in the end. In placing her over the heifer in second position, this is a really eye-catching female. Not quite got the body width and muscle expression of the heifer in first position, but like the heifer in first position, very, very feminine, very sound. Love the way she travels. Love her wedge shape. I think wasn't a real lot in it, I must say, but those were the reasons I had her there. And placing her over this heifer in third position, this is the oldest heifer in the class, and obviously showing that she's in calf. I love that about her. I tried to weigh up whether it was that was making her. She's just not quite as balanced, I suppose, or not quite as smooth in her makeup right throughout her body as the two heifers that placed above her. But love the length of body, muscle expression, obviously femininity. Just a very good female as well. And placing her over the heifer in fourth. This heifer in fourth is a later maturing type. Not quite got the easy doing ability of the three heifers that I placed above her, but I love her length of body, love her. She's going to be a big cow, and it'll be interesting to see what she grows into in time. Thank you.
Thank you, David. In the Murray Greys now, we're looking to judge our junior champion and reserve junior champion heifer. If we could have catalogue numbers 845, 855 and 858 ready to parade for junior champion, and catalogue numbers 848, 853 and 857 to be ready in case required for reserve. And we have catalogue number 853 coming in for the judging of reserve. Ladies and gentlemen, our junior champion Murray Grey Heifer for 2026 Royal Queensland Show goes to catalogue number 855, Mayfair Joyce W8, exhibited by Burnett Pastoral Trust. And our reserve junior champion Murray Grey Heifer, catalogue number 858, Onward Evelyn W1, exhibited by Bowraville Central School. Sashing our junior champion and reserve junior champion heifers is Marilyn Hanson from Sheldie Murray Grace. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on his junior and reserve junior champion heifers. Otherwise I'll turn it up
Down the back over there. Is that a little louder down the back? Can you hear me now? A little better than before? Sorry, I'll have a go. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, for the junior championship, I've gone with the heifer out of the middle class. Tremendous amount of performance in her. I love the way she's put together. She's long, she's wide, she's deep, she's feminine through the front, she's sound in her structure. Just an outstanding female. In placing her over the other heifers, I've gone with the dark heifer from the older class in the for the reserve championship. She's not quite got the performance probably of the heifer out of the middle class that came second in that class. The younger heifer's outdone on maturity at this point in time, and she's got a long road ahead of her. A little time to see what she grows into. But I toss up between the reserve heifer and the grey heifer in the back line. I really just like this heifer. She's not anything extreme by any means, but she's so sound and functional and quiet looking. There's so much good about her. She's just a natural in my eyes, and the reason I've got her into the reserve championship position here today. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Ladies and gentlemen, our first junior bull Murray grade class 225. Bull aged 8 months and under 12 months. Single entry in this class, catalogue number 861 to parade. And if you're following your catalogues, catalogue numbers 860 and 862 have been withdrawn. And catalogue number 861 weighs in at 345 kilograms, P8 and rib fat of 4 and 3, and an EMA of 78 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, resulting class 225, bull aged 8 months and under 12 months. First place to catalogue number 861, Hideaway Park Wolverine, exhibited by Wendy McDonald. And I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on this bull class.
This young bull's only 10 months of age. If you look at him, he's just a well-balanced calf. He's got good neck extension. There's a lot of growth potential in him. If you lead him off, please. Very sound in the way. Pretty sound the way he walks, and just got good muscle expression without being overdone at this point in time in his age. Good testicular development for a young calf. I think I got the makings of a good animal, and it'll be interesting to see him come in against the older animals for the junior championship. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And we now have our final junior bull class 226, bull aged 12 months and under 16 months. 4 entries in this class, catalogue numbers 863 through 866 to please parade. Catalogue number 863 weighs 562 kilograms, has a pH and rib fat of 7 and 6, and an EMA of 107 square centimetres. Catalogue number 864 weighs 524 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 9 and 7, and an EMA of 101 square centimetres. Catalogue number 865 weighs 526 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 13 and 10, and an EMA of 101 square centimetres. And catalogue number 866 weighs 457 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 6 and 4, and an EMA of 77 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in Class 226, bull age 12 months and under 16 months. First place, catalogue number 863, Amelia Park Icon, exhibited by Amelia Taylor Rose. In second place, catalogue number 864, Amelia Park Mr. Lincoln, exhibited by Amelia Taylor Rose. And in third place, catalogue number 865, Sixpence Park Waterloo, exhibited by Stephen Natty Martin. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on this junior bull class.
Ladies and gentlemen, these young bulls are only 12 and 13 months of age, so you've got to remember that when you're looking at them. They say a bull should always look like a bull, and I've gone with the one that least looks like a bull in this case. But remember that he's only 12 months of age. He is a touch on the moderate maturing side, as in comparison to the two bull, especially the two bulls that place below him. But I think he's the sound. My eyes, he's the soundest bull in the class. I love his neck extension, his width of frame. He actually performs higher than the other bulls, even though he's the youngest. And I see just a tremendous amount of potential in this calf. I know that he's probably not going to be the most masculine-headed bull, even at maturity. But that says to me that there's potential. You can lead him off, please. There's potential for this bull to breed both maternal and paternal cattle, and I think there's a tremendous amount of potential. Just love the way he's put together, love the potential in him, and he's performing up above the others at this point in time in his life as well, so just a good calf. Placing him over the bull in second position grants you that the bull in second is a heavier muscle bull, probably got a little better carcass about him, but not quite as sound in those back leg action, not quite as fluid on parade, as is the bull in third position. I love this bull in third. I love the masculine head, the broad forehead on him. He's just an easy doing sort of a bull. He's a well muscled bull. He's deep in his body. In comparison to the two bulls that place above him, just doesn't travel quite as easily. And in placing him over the bull in fourth position, I love this bull for his length of body, his neck extension. He obviously hasn't had quite the preparation of the bulls that place above him, and that's counting against him at the moment. But he is outpowered by them on this day, and that's the reason I had him there. But I admire him for the length, as I said, and his soundness. I think he's got a frame that's certainly one that can be built on in time. Thank you.
Thank you, David. This brings us now in the Murray Grey Ring to the judging of our junior champion and reserve junior champion bulls. Catalogue numbers 861 and 863 now parading, and catalogue number 864 waiting in case required for reserve. Now catalogue number 864 in to judge for reserve. Ladies and gentlemen, the junior champion Murray Grey Bull for the 2026 Royal Queensland Show goes to catalogue number 863, Amelia Park Icon, exhibited by Amelia Taylor Rose. And our reserve junior champion Murray Grey Bull, catalogue number 864, Amelia Park Mr. Lincoln, exhibited by Amelia Taylor Rose. Our junior champion bull receives the association sash and a trophy sponsored by Roseya and Red Gum Murray Greys, presented here this morning by Mr. Michael Markey. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on his junior champion and reserve junior champion bull.
Thanks, Candice. Ladies and gentlemen, I've gone with the two bulls out of the older class. I've talked about this fella probably enough. I think he's an outstanding calf, and it was an easy decision. Making the reserve champion decision probably a little more difficult. I really admire the young calf for his length of body, his width of frame. He's probably just a touch leaner in his makeup, but that could be preparation at this point in time. But there is only 2 months difference between 2 or 3 months difference between him and the two bulls I've got into the championship positions, and the power of these fellas plus their balance of soundness and length of body and just the combination of the dimensions got them up into the championship positions here today. Thank you.
Thank you, David. A couple of announcements, ladies and gentlemen. Stock Live is proud to be supporting Ekka by bringing 2026 Ekka Beef Week cattle events live to screens across the country. Every ring, every breed, every day. Go to stocklive.com.au to see more. And also I'd like to thank our Ekka Beef Week sponsors: Grand Champion Partner JBS, Champion Partners AAM, Suncorp Bank, our major partner Kubota, and our supporters AgForce Elders, Woolworths, the Queensland Country Life and Somerville House. And ladies and gentlemen, following the Murray Greys here this morning, we'll have the South Devons in Ring 5. And following that, we move on to our Parade of Champions and our Champion of Champions interbreed judging. And ladies and gentlemen, in the Murray Grey Ring, we now move to the judging of our senior cows or heifers. Our first class 228, heifer aged 20 months and under 24 months. 2 entries in this class, catalogue numbers 867 and 868 to please parade. Ladies and gentlemen, result in class 228, heifer aged 20 months and under 24 months. First place, the catalogue number 868, Hideaway Park Isabella V22, exhibited by Wendy McDonald. In second place, catalogue number 867, Hideaway Park Dreamer V35, exhibited by Wendy McDonald. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on his first senior cow class.
Thanks, Candice. This class, two heifers that are only a month or so apart, so not much difference in age. I've gone with the longer-bodied female. I think she's a really good example of a young beef female. She's long-bodied, she's wide-bodied, she travels easy, she's efficient-boned, she's got a good neck extension, and travels really, really easily. I like her a lot. In placing her over the heifer in second position, heifer that's, I grant you, 1 month younger, but hasn't just quite got that body dimensions. Not as long, not as wide. She travels easily and she's feminine. I'll give her that in comparison to the heifer in first position, but it was just that overall capacity that was the difference between the two today. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Our second class, class 229, cow or heifer aged 24 months and under 30 months. Single entry in this class, catalogue number 869, to please parade. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in class 229, cow or heifer aged 24 months and under 30 months. First place to catalogue number 869, Air Park Wallflower V14, exhibited by Steve and Natty Martin. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on this senior cow.
Thanks, Candice. Only one female in the class, and it's a pity because she would be competitive against anything. I really love the dimensions of her. She's a classical wedge-shaped female. She's got a long enough body. She's not super long, but she's long, but she's deep and wide and just really maternal looking. And she's only 27 months of age and got a calf there at that 4 or so months old. So she's conceived as a yearling. She's the sort of female that will hold a condition well and do the same thing again. Good udder and teat set up on her and doing a good job on a calf. I think she's a very good female, and it will be good to see her up against the older cows for the championship. Thank you.
Thank you, David. We now have a final senior cow class, class 230, cow aged 30 months and under 60 months. Single entry again in this class, catalogue number 871 now parading. And we had some withdrawals, catalogue numbers 870 and 872. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in class 230, cow aged 30 months and under 60 months. First place, catalogue number 871, Sheldy Ultra Special, exhibited by Marilyn Hanson. And I'd like to invite our judge again to pass his comment on this class.
Thanks, Candice. This cow's 40 months of age and on her second calf. So she's had a calf as a 2-year-old. Now she's having a calf as a 3-year-old. And what more do we want from a female? And doing a great job on the calf. As we watch her walk out, she's got to be admired for the power she has, the length of body, and as I said, doing a great job on a pretty special heifer calf that's following her. We'll be interesting when she comes in for the championship against that younger cow and the heifer. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And that does take us to the judging of our senior champion and reserve senior champion, Murray Grey cow or heifer, catalogue numbers 868, 869 and 871 to please parade, and catalogue number 867 to be ready in case required for reserve. Ladies and gentlemen, the senior champion cow or heifer for Murray Grey for the 2026 Royal Queensland Show goes to catalogue number 869, Air Park Wallflower V14, exhibited by Stephen Natty Martin. And our reserve senior champion cow or heifer, catalogue number 871, Sheldy Ultra Special, exhibited by Marilyn Hanson. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on his senior and reserve senior champion cows.
Thanks, Candice. Before I pass comment on the two cows I've got up in the top position, I'd just like to say something about the heifer. I really like her a lot. I think she's for length of body and overall type. I think she's up there with these two females. But I do find it hard to crystal ball these young females when you've got cows that are doing a good job on a calf and are fundamentally basically sound. So I couldn't go any higher with her today, and that's the main reason for it at this point in time. I'd love to see her with a calf beside her next year and see what that young female is doing. In going for the champion in reserve, there's a couple of fundamental differences in these females. The female in reserve position is a longer-bodied, more powerful female. I'll grant you that. The young female in the championship position is a really well balanced female that travels really easily. I love the angles in her joints. She's got good angle in her hock. That she travels really easily and covers the ground. And I think when we're talking about breeding cattle for Australian conditions, there's some small paddocks, but there's a lot of big ones too. And the big ones are where the big numbers of animals end up. And we've got to breed cattle that are functional. I think this young female will do that. She's had a calf at a young age, as has the older cow. She's on a second calf now. So I love that about the Murray Grey breed. When the heifers were coming in today, I'm just seeing femininity, fertility, and it's something that's common in these British cattle, but this breed's doing a great job of it. I congratulate you. I've gone for this younger female because I just think she has that overall balance of traits that I'm looking for: soundness, functionality, easy doing ability. It's got her into the championship position here today. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, We now have the judging of our grand champion cow or heifer. And the Murray Grey ring will have catalogue numbers 855 and 869 to please parade.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've seen enough of these females today to know what I'm going to do. It's an interesting one. We've got a young heifer at 14 months of age, roughly. She's nearly 15. She's 12 months younger than the young cow with the calf. What I see in both these females is a real natural balance and soundness. They travel really, really easily. They've got good neck extension. They've both got very deep barrels. They've got big bodies in them. I guess the heifer is a higher performing individual. She's probably going to be a bigger cow at maturity. That's probably a given, I would say, at this point in time. The young cow, she's doing a job on a calf. So here I am weighing up whether to go with what I think is potentially something really high performing, or something that's doing the job, probably just to touch down on that performance. But you got to also try to take into account that when you put a calf on a young cow, it takes a little bit out of that animal as well. So I'm weighing all that up and looking at the fertility indicators that I see in these females, and considering whether I think they're set up for a life ahead of them, and not probably overdone for showing. I'm going to go with the cow and calf for the champion here today.
Ladies and gentlemen, the grand champion cow or heifer for the Murray Grey Beef for the 2026 Royal Queensland Show goes to catalogue number 869, Air Park Wallflower V14, exhibited by Steve and Natty Martin. Our grand champion cow or heifer receives the Association Sash and the Elders Shield of Excellence, sponsored by Elders Limited and presented today by Andrew Murrah from Elders Studsock in Toowoomba.
Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull
And ladies and gentlemen, catalogue number 873 has been withdrawn, so we go into class 233, bull aged 30 months and under 42 months. 3 entries in this class, catalogue numbers 874, 875 and 876 to please parade. And catalogue number 874 weighs 1,058 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 12 and 10, and an EMA of 138 square centimetres. Catalogue number 875 weighs in at 1,060 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 12 and 10, and an EMA of 141 square centimetres. And catalogue number 876 weighs 912 kilograms, pH and rib fat of 10 and 8, and an EMA of 112 square centimetres. As there's only one class of senior bulls, ladies and gentlemen, these bulls will be our senior and reserve senior champions. And ladies and gentlemen, resulting class 233, bull aged 30 months and under 42 months. First place goes to catalogue number 875, Baruna Park Trojan, exhibited by DG and S.A. Taylor. In second place, catalogue number 874, Monterey Victorious, exhibited by Marilyn Hanson. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on these senior bulls, and we'll award them their senior and reserve champion ribbons.
Thank you, Candice. Ladies and gentlemen, in this class of 3 bulls, we've got the 2 big, powerful bulls at the top of the class. The third fellow, a really sound bull, long-bodied bull, well-muscled bull, but just outpowered today by 2 bulls a touch younger than him and a little more weight, more muscle and on this day. In placing the 2 fellas in first and second, they're interesting. They're an interesting pair of bulls. They're very different in type. They're very similar in age. There's probably 1 to 2 months difference between the 2 of them. When you look at them, first impression is the bull I have in first position is a bull that hasn't got quite as much muscle, is a bull that lays down more fat, and the opposite of the bull in the reserve. But the interesting thing about the scans is that the bull in first is scanning just a couple of square centimetres higher, but also has the same amount of fat on him. So that blows my impression of the 2. But anyway, I like both bulls. I think they're both got a big part to play in this breed. The bull I have in first position, I prefer because he's a little more fluent in his action. I think he's naturally an easier doing type of bull. He's not quite as balanced in the way he's put together through his top, but he's sound in his feet and legs, travels easily. He's got a quiet eye, and I think he's a maternal type of bull. The bull in the reserve position, I love the power in him. I think he is a musclier bull despite the measure he's got, but he is a leaner type, and he doesn't travel quite as easily in those hind legs as the bull in first position. But I like both bulls, and I think they have a huge part to play in the breed. And the bull in third position is a great example of the breed. Just a really sound bull that breeds your functional cattle. Congratulations to all the breeders. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And I'll just announce that officially. So our senior champion bull for the 2026 Royal Queensland Show for the Murray Greys, catalogue number 875, Baruna Park Trojan, exhibited by DG and S.A. Taylor. And our reserve senior champion bull, catalogue number 874, Monterey Victorious, exhibited by Marilyn Hanson. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now judging the Grand Champion Murray Grey Bull. We have catalogue numbers 863 and 875 now paradings.
For the Grand Champion Murray Grey Bull, we've got the junior and the senior in the ring. The junior bull's only just not quite 13 months of age. The older bull's 32 months of age. So there's a difference there, and it's interesting to compare the two. We as a family don't do a lot of showing anymore, and I'm not necessarily tied up on what looks like the best show animal. But I was just thinking in the ring before, and I hadn't probably thought about it before, of what the industry needs. And when we're drafting bulls at home, first and foremost, it's about functionality, temperament, just the basics of beef production that the bulls have got to cover. And I think it's so important that as seed stock producers, we keep that in mind. I've put down into the lower position some animals today that I think aren't quite perfectly sound in their structure, and there's not many that are perfectly sound. We've just got to be honest with ourselves. But the closer we get to it, you've got to remember that anything the seed stock sector puts out into the commercial industry multiplies by 100-fold within a couple of years, and it's so important that we get it right. So the animals that excel above that, the basic functional animals, do the job for the commercial industry. The ones that have that extra bit of performance and have the ability to breed you males and females and give you probably no problems are the better ones. And the ones that are extremely good are the ones that give you a bit of extra performance, muscle growth, all those things that we need to make money in the beef industry. So when I'm looking at these two bulls and I'm thinking about which bull I think excels for all the areas that I'm looking for, and I think the beef industry needs, the easy winner today for me is the junior bull.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Champion Murray Grey Bull for the 2026 Royal Queensland Show goes to catalogue number 863, Amelia Park Icon, exhibited by Amelia Taylor Rose. Our Grand Champion Bull receives the Association Sash, the True Elders Shield of Excellence, sponsored by Elders Limited and presented today by Andrew Murrah from Elders Studstock in Toowoomba. There's also a trophy sponsored by Pacan Murray Greys, and there is a medallion as well. Thank you.
The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards, August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards.
In selecting for the Supreme Champion, Murray Gray of the show, I'm really happy with the two animals we have in front of us. The cows at about 27 months of age, obviously conceived early, doing a good job on a calf. The young bull is only 13 months of age, so you know you've got very young animals. I'm really happy with. I just think they both shown a lot of natural balance. They're supremely sound in their makeup, and I think that's the building blocks, as I mentioned just before, the building blocks to breed functional cattle. So I think they have that. They're both wide right throughout their body, wide muzzles. They've both got reasonably long heads, so they're going to grow big enough. They're not going to stop growing at too small a weight, and we must realise that we've got, as well as the local markets, we've got export markets that pay us well for our cattle these days too. So it's great to have cattle that are flexible to fit into all those markets, and I think these two animals probably fit that too. I love them for their depth of body, their width of body, but there's one dimension I see different between the two animals, and it's the reason I've gone with the young bull as the champion here today, is his length of body.
Thank you, David. The John F. Sturgeon Medal for the Supreme exhibit goes to catalogue number 863. Amelia Park Icon, exhibited by Amelia Taylor Rose. And as I said, the Supreme exhibit receives the medallion sponsored by John Sturgeon and is presented today by Victoria and Alexandra, two of John Sr.'s granddaughters. Well, ladies and gentlemen, In the Murray Grey Ring, we have a final class. We have a breeders group. This is class 2, 3, 4. 3 animals, both sexes to be represented, bred and owned by the exhibitor, and all animals must be entered in the general classes. Single entry in this class, catalogue number 877 is now parading. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in our final Murray Grey class, class 234, the breeders group. First place, catalogue number 877, exhibited by Wendy McDonald. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on his final class.
Thanks, Candice. First of all, congratulations to the Murray Grey breed for a great showing of cattle today. I think there's a range of types there, and it's important that we have different types in a breed, so there's a bit of breeding diversity. This class of the breeders group, only the one breeders group, and that's a bit of a pity because they're a competitive group. Interestingly, these 3 animals are all born out of the same cow, so they're 23, 24, 25 calves. So that's a big feat in itself. If you lead them off, please. The bull was in the senior bull class, a really functional type of a bull. A young female in the second in the lineup here. She was probably unlucky to come up against some heifers in production, but really functional young female. And the young bull is long bodied, actually a full brother to the bull in the first position, but you'd have to think that he's going to grow to be a bigger bull. There's a lot of potential in him. So congratulations to the breeder. I think they're very functional cattle and so form the basis of a herd that can supply the industry very well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. And that does conclude the judging of the Murray Grey breed for the 2026 Royal Queensland Show, celebrating 150 years. David, thank you very much for your judging here this morning. We've just got a little gift for you to thank you from the Murray Grey Society here. Oh, sorry. Murray Grey breeders here today. I have a little gift here for you. So thank you very much for your judging and commentary here today. I'd also like to thank our exhibitors and handlers for their promptness, being on time in the ring and presentation here today. Thank you to our sponsors for the awards, and thank you to my stewards for keeping our ring running very well. And thank you everyone here to being here today at the first official day of the 2026 ECA. Well, good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. We're now in Ring 5 here. We are starting to judge the South Devon breed for the 2026 Royal Queensland Show, celebrating 150 years. I'd like to again invite our judge, Mr. David Greenup. David, with his wife Sonia and their family, operates the Rosevale Santa Gertruda stud in southeast Queensland. This herd is one of the most extensively performance recorded herds in northern Australia. 400 to 500 bulls, principally pasture prepared, are sold annually. The 70th annual Rosevale sale will be held in 2026, which is the longest running on-property annual sale of any breed in Australia, with a strong focus being placed on breeding extremely fertile, functional cattle that meet market specifications at an early age off pasture. David has judged cattle and young judges competitions at almost all royal and major shows, breed national sales and multiple breed junior shows throughout Australia. We'd like to welcome him back here this morning to judge the South Devons. Ladies and gentlemen, in the ring, our first class, which is our junior heifer class, class 335, is a heifer aged 8 months and under 16 months. A single entry in this class, catalogue number 1093. As this is our only junior heifer class, this animal will receive our junior champion heifer prize as well. Ladies and gentlemen, a resulting class 335, heifer aged 8 months and under 16 months. First place to catalogue number 1093, Gem Billy Wallflower, exhibited by the McCutcheon family. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on this first class of South Devons.
Thank you, Candice, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen, to the South Devon Ring. Thank you also to the South Devon breeders for nominating me as a judge today. I very much appreciate the opportunity and certainly do appreciate it. This heifer in the first class, the South Devon breeds a very interesting breed of cattle, a British breed of cattle, but got a little more scale than the traditional breeds had. And I remember a comment my grandfather made to me probably 30 years ago after he'd been to England, and he was so impressed with the breed, the size of them, but also the softness of them. And this heifer exudes that. She's only 11 months of age. She's going to be a pretty big framed animal, but I love the width of frame and the easy doing ability she's got with it. So interesting one. She's a junior champion here today. It will be interesting to see her come up against the senior animals for the Grand Championship later. Thank you.
Oh! And ladies and gentlemen, our junior champion South Devon heifer, catalogue number 1093, Gem Billy Wallflower, exhibited by the McCutcheon family. Ladies and gentlemen, in the South Devon ring, we move to the judging of our junior bull class, and we have a single class here, class 337, bull aged 8 months and under 16 months. 2 entries in this class, 1094 and 1095. As these are the only junior bulls, they will also receive the junior and reserves junior champion ribbons. Catalogue number 1094 weighs 376 kilograms, has a pH and rib fat of 5 and 3, and an EMA of 87 square centimetres. Catalogue number 1095 weighs 650 kilos, pH and rib fat of 6 and 6, and an EMA of 118 square centimetres. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in class 337, bull aged 8 months and under 16 months. First place to catalogue number 1094, Gembilly War, exhibited by the McCutcheon family. And in second place, catalogue number 1095, Gembilly Woodcock, exhibited by the McCutcheon family. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on these junior bulls.
Thanks, Candice. For the junior, this class, I've gone with the younger fella. He's 9 months of age. The older bull's just under that 16 months of age. So there is a bit of difference there. That's something like 7 months of age. I've gone the younger bull. He is a tremendously muscly bull, reasonably lean. Not the ability to lay down the fat probably of the bull that's in second position. But I put him up into first today. I just felt he travelled a little easier. I'd probably like to, if you'd lead him off, please. Like the ribbons, yeah. Sorry, we got the champion and the junior ribbons as well. But I just felt that his mobility today got him over the line in first place and the junior championship. I'd love to blend a couple of the things together in these bulls, a little more softness from the old bull into the young bull, and probably just the way he travels a bit easier, the younger bull into the older bull. But two tremendously muscly bulls that especially as terminal type size, have a big part to play in any herd that wants them. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And our junior champion South Devon Bull, catalogue number 1094, Jambilly War, exhibited by the McCutcheon family. And our reserve junior champion South Devon Bull, catalogue number 1095, Jambilly Woodcock, exhibited by the McCutcheon family. Ladies and gentlemen, in the South Devon ring we move to the judging of our senior cows or heifers. There aren't any entries in class 339 and we have a single entry in class 340, cow age 30 months and under 60 months, catalogue number 1096 to please parade. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in Class 340, cow aged 30 months and under 60 months. First place to catalogue number 1096, Jambilly Thumbelina, exhibited by the McCutcheon family. As this is our only senior cow or heifer, catalogue number 1096 also receives our Senior Champion Cow or Heifer Association sash. I'd like to invite our judge to pass some comments on this senior cow.
Thanks, Candice. Ladies and gentlemen, this cow's over 40 months of age, or 52 I think she might be, but she's on her on a third calf, so she's doing a good job. The calf's a good calf. I admire her for her body length. She's got that feminine, real feminine look about her, but she's got the tremendous amount of length gives her extra weight, and that performance is what we get paid for. And anyway, just a good type of cow. Be interesting to see her come back in for the Grand Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the South Devon ring, we are now judging our Grand Champion cow or heifer, and we have catalogue numbers 1093 and 1096 now parading. Ladies and gentlemen, our Grand Champion South Devon cow or heifer goes to catalogue number 1093, Jambilly Wallflower, exhibited by the McCutcheon family. I'd like to invite our judge to pass some comment on this Grand Champion cow. She does receive the Association sash and the Elders Shield of Excellence, presented by Mr. Andrew Mara from Elders Studstock in Toowoomba.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the Grand Champion, I've gone with the heifer at only 11 months of age in comparison to the cow who's 52. And it's rare that I do this, but I really like this heifer. I think she's got a tremendous amount of body width and length, but she's so deep and soft, easy doing. I just think she's really got a balance of muscle, finish, femininity, growth potential, and it was her soundness of structure that got her over the cow. But I really, as I said, I really do like the type that she is, and I think I thought so much potential in her that I've gone with it for the Grand Champion here today. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as this is our only senior bull class, he will also receive the senior champion bull ribbon. Ladies and gentlemen, a result in class 341, bull aged 20 months and under 30 months. First place to catalogue number 1097, Jambilly Vunavalu, exhibited by the McCutcheon family. I'd like to invite our judge to pass his comment on his senior bull.
Thanks, Candice. For those on the outside, interesting to know the stats on this bull. He's only 23 months of age and 970 kilos, so he certainly is a powerhouse. What I see in him is a big volume body, really deep body. He's only scanning 11-7, but I think there's so much more potential for him to lay down fat if he's pushed harder. I really like the bull. I think he's a maternal type of bull as well as being the sort of bull that'll breed your bulls as well. And I just think he has a good balance of the traits that I've been looking for today, and he's a worthy winner of the championship despite not coming up against any other cattle in this section. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. And our senior bull for the South Devon breed is catalogue number 1097, Jambilly Vunavalu, exhibited by the McCutcheon family. Ladies and gentlemen, in the South Devon ring, we are now judging our grand champion bull. So we have our junior champion bull, catalogue number 1094, and our senior champion bull, catalogue number 1097, now parading.
In selecting my grand champion bull today in the South Devon ring, we've got two bulls in the ring, the young 9-month-old calf and the big bull, but he is only 23 months old. There's a couple of fundamental differences in these bulls. The young fella's got tremendous amount of muscle, but probably a leaner type, or definitely is a leaner type. The older bull is a muscly bull, not to the extreme, but has the ability to lay down fat, has a little more growth potential, I believe. And I think just for his overall versatility in breeding females and lasting in tougher country and a number of those types of things that makes the animal more versatile in the country we grow our cattle, I'm going to go for the older bull as the grand champion here today, and he's a very worthy winner. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Our grand champion bull goes to catalogue number 1097, Jambili Vunivalu, exhibited by the McCutcheon family. Our grand champion bull receives the Association Sash and the Elders Shield of Excellence, sponsored by Elders Limited and presented by Mr. Andrew Myra from Elders Studstock in Toowoomba.
The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin and Angus bulls at the Coolabunga Sale Yards August 15th. Semen and morphology tested, fully vaccinated, a bull for everyone. Contact your preferred GDL agent. The Gender View Invitational Bull Sale will offer 65 industry-relevant Limousin...